And we're live. I'm here with the crazy kid, Brad Wheeler. Brad, thanks for coming on.
That's all right. Thanks for having me.
I wanted to speak to you because you put out a video last week. It made me feel quite emotional, and you said that you're injured. You've got a long wait for an operation on your injury and a long recovery after that, and you're going to retire from MMA.
Yeah. Did you know what? It's just since my last fight, I've just gone from disaster to disaster. I had one knee surgery. After I fought John, I'd done a grappling competition, and in the competition, I'd got caught in a reverse heel hook, and the guy slammed it on, and my knee popped, and so I had to get an MRI scan and get all that sorted. And then it turns out it was just it put me out for a while, a meniscus tear.
Yeah.
So I had the keyhole surgery and then got back on my feet. And the recovery for that's only about 3 months. So then I was, I done that and I was looking back to get ready to fight. So I started getting back into shape, getting ready for a fight. I had a fight lined up, then COVID all happened. And
Yeah.
it's like it was just one thing after the other. And then this year I was looking to fight in July, so like last month. But yeah, just with the way the world is right now, it's just things have been hard. And then in March, I done my knee again, like the other knee. So I've done one knee last year, and 2 years ago, sorry. I've done the other one at the start of this year. But the way it went, I thought it was the same thing. And then I got my R results back, and they said it was a torn ACL, and it had actually been giving me a lot more problems than the previous knee did. And I don't had it on cover, but I think the operation is quite a big one, so they won't cover it. But where it puts me out for a long time, I'm better off to get it referred, so it gives me time to save some money, so that when I'm off with the injury, that I'm not just like stuck. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just thought like maybe it's a sign. Do you know what I mean? Like I haven't fought since 2019. And I just feel like I just pick up injuries so much, like easily now. Like I'm not as,
Yeah.
I know I'm only 30, but I'm not as young as I was. And I just literally knocks and bruises, bumps. Like you ask any fighter, the older you just get injured all the time.
Yeah.
And just, I wanted to fight again at the end of this year. And then with that news and everything, and 6 months before surgery, and then however long rehabilitation would take, and then I got to get back into shape again. And I'm not getting any younger. And
Yeah.
I've had 31 fights and I've had like a good few wars, and as passionate as I am about it, and I would love to carry on. There's more to life than fighting, and I need to start
Yeah.
focusing on other areas of my life. And I won my last fight over a good opponent. And I thought, you know what, go out on a high. It's
Yeah.
it's hard, but it's got to be realistic.
Well, you said you're only 30, but you've packed a lot into the years you've been
Yeah,
fighting. You've
yeah.
been so active. Like you said, you've had so many fights that it does take its toll on the body, doesn't it?
No, yeah, and that's why I was thinking like with the injuries. I mean, even probably like my last few fights, I was probably going into them all injured, and like what was it like? And I just feel like the way like I've always kind of took damage bad in fights. I think it's like my bone structure. It's like I always just get cut. Like I think just like they get clipped and it just boom, that's it. and but yeah, just like I broke my leg before a fight. I broke my jaw. I've done like I just feel like I've just fallen apart. Because I've been in combat sports since I was like 13, and I
Yeah.
started doing MMA when I was 16. And then literally because I've done like boxing and taekwondo and kickboxing for years, all I really done was think to myself, right, just get some good ground so I can hang in with the guys on the ground. And so when I was 17, I was like, yeah, I want to fight. So I started fighting at 17, like MMA. And as soon as I turned 18, I went pro, and yeah, and it's just, do you know what I mean? Just consistently fought. Like, so I think the first couple of years I was fighting like 5 times a year, like just really
Yeah.
as much as I could. Do you know what I mean? And then it's miles on the clock. Do you know what I mean? I am only 30, and I do think do you know what it is? It's like when you perform in the gym and you think like, oh, like it'd be good to do on the stage, but it's just the grueliness of putting yourself through a camp. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like it was. Like I used to be able to go back to back camps. Like now, like maybe like 2, 3 a year tops. Like 3 at a push.
Yeah.
You'd have to have one early, one mid, and one at the end of the year. Even but you look at like most of the guys in like the UFC and all that, they're only really fighting like twice a year. I know you
Yeah.
do get some that do fight regularly, but it's a lot on the body what you put yourself at, especially with all the weight cutting and all that. That's why I moved up in the end. I feel like I just ruined my kidneys from years and years
Well,
of
that was actually another thing that I wanted to
yeah.
ask you about, because I've heard you talking about the weight cuts before, and obviously you fought at lightweight. You fought at lightweight for ages, so you did
I
those
thought
cuts
featherweight
over
when I started.
feather as well.
Yeah.
I was struggling to get information on the early fights. So I wanted to ask you about some of them and how they went and stuff. But
Yeah.
the weight cuts I know you've spoken about before, and I just wanted to ask you a bit more about that and the toll you think that's taken, because you've spoken about your kidneys before and moving up to welter.
Yeah. I used to cut a lot to make lightweight. What was it? So when I started off, I was fighting featherweight, and that was a big cut because I've like always been 6 foot, so getting down to like featherweight's a big cut. But where I was young, I was like skinny. I weren't like a man, so
Yeah.
made it a few times, but it was hard. And then I moved up to lightweight, and I fought Wesley Murch. And at the time, I must have been like early 18, and he was like a fully grown man, and he beat the shit out of me. Like I managed to like come back and pull a triangle out, but I just remember
Yeah.
how physically strong he felt on top of me, like just beating me. Like it's probably like the worst my eye had ever looked after a fight. So like even though I won, I'd say it was probably one of my hardest fights. Like and it kind of scared me. I just thought, oh mate, them guys are big. Like but then eventually I couldn't make 66, so I had to go up to lightweight,
Yeah.
and then because you think 66 to like 145 to 155 isn't that big of a jump, and then 155 to 170
No.
is quite a jump, and I just like for
Yeah.
years I just thought no, keep making 55 because like I used to just be worried of the size difference just because of that
There
experience
are
when I was
some
younger.
really big guys at 70
Yeah,
as well, 170.
and then I was like I was cutting like 20 pounds, sometimes like close to 30 in like the last week, like before the fight, and over time, it just got so hard. Like the amount of times I got carried to the scales, or I missed weight the first time, and then I'd have a couple of hours to go and make the weight. And then it got to a point where it was the weight cuts was affecting my performance. I was going in
Yeah.
there, and I was just fatigued. My arms were burnt out. I was gassing, and I was just thought, you know what, like. It's a fight at the end of the day. It's not a weight cutting contest. Like I'm not comfortable getting down to this. I don't enjoy my camp. All I'm doing is thinking about what I'm eating, what I can and can't eat. Like, do you know, and it was just like, I'm just going to move up. And I moved up and I had better success. And then I got a little bit lazy. I never missed 170, but I think a couple of fights I was a bit heavier than I should have been, just because I knew I'd like. So then I started like not doing as big of a cut, but not as much as I should have been. I should have only
Yeah.
been doing about 10 pounds, and I think I started doing like maybe 15. But yeah, but that made a big difference to moving up in weight. You know, I felt more energized, more healthy, and it did show in some of my performances at welterweight. So
Yeah, I think so. Did you ever feel small for the weight class?
no, do you know what? Like I thought Matt Inman, he's like 6'2", so like height wise he's quite big. But like with everyone I fought physically in the clinch everywhere with him, I didn't feel like when I fought Warren Key, he felt massive, but I didn't have a
He
problem with
looks
him.
massive. I rewatched
Yeah.
that fight before our
Yeah,
interview,
do you
and
know what? Actually, I took him down once, but I remember when we locked up in the clinch, he just felt like a wall. I'm like,
I don't know how we made 170.
no, no. Do you know what? I think he missed it that time, and after that fight, he went up to 185.
Right.
But yeah, but he used to. He even fought 155 at one point.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so yeah, it's mad. But do you know what I mean? Like everyone's trying to killing themselves to make these weight. It's like
Yeah.
really, just fight whatever you're naturally close to. Like
Yeah.
I was even considering if I was going to fight again, if I was going to fight 185.
Wow. There are some really big dudes at
But then I did
185.
think, you know what, I can make 170. I've just not been on the diet at the moment because obviously it's just the way everything's going on at the moment. I'm just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah. I think there's two sides to look at your retirement, coming away from weight cutting for a second. Like, one of it is it's kind of out of your hands with the fact that you're injured and you wanted to fight again, and COVID. I was looking at our last messages. I sent you the link on Facebook Messenger as well as on Instagram, and I was looking.
Yeah.
I'd messaged you straight after Cage Warriors Academy Southeast because I was going to ask you for an interview for, I think you were going to fight in for Probellum and in Cyprus, and we were going to have a chat.
Yeah.
And then I was like, 1 minute we were arranging that, and then the next minute there were
Yeah.
no flights anywhere, and even then we're talking back and forth like it might only last a couple of weeks, and it might get rescheduled for like a month's time.
I know. Yeah, I remember me and both of them got cancelled. Like, yeah, but yeah, that's like it's like just because of the way the world was at that moment in time. Do you know what I mean? It's just so yeah. I did have plans. Like, it's just it's hard. Like, you know, we're so passionate about something and done it for so long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I just got to be realistic. Like, just with the rest of my life. You know what I mean? And
but the other side of it is not many people go out on a win, and you're going out on a win. And I think a lot of people are hoping that maybe, you know, you recover and you're feeling really good a bit down the line, and maybe you feel in the mood to have go through another fight camp and have another fight at some stage.
Yeah, do you know what? When after sorry, a bit emotional. After I put the video out, I had so many people message me. And it was like,
you've given us some amazing memories, Brad. Like some of my best moments at Cage Warriors London. You're on every card. You put your heart and soul into it. Like we've loved it. We've loved it so much.
Yeah, and I was just saying, like, loads of people just reached out and messaged me, and the support was just really nice. It's like really, sorry, really moving, and like, yeah, and I just like really appreciate it. And it was a hard decision, but I've got to think of myself. Do you know what I mean? And but it was nice, you know, the amount of people that left me comments and messaged me, and do you know what I mean? Like, people messaged me from like all over the world, like, because obviously I've been about trained here, trained there, and I didn't realise, like, you know what I mean, how much networking I've done over the years. And but no, it was nice. Yeah, and no, like, you know.
You've made a massive impact on the UK MMA scene. I've absolutely loved watching your career, and I wanted to talk to you about like some of the highlights, some of my best fights, some of the ones that I really enjoyed, and some of your moments, like your best moments. But like, I think the one that kind of encompasses your spirit and determination is the one against Jefferson George, where you broke your jaw.
Yeah.
And not just broke your jaw, like broke it in 5 places, was it?
It was a mess. Like, I don't know if you see the X-ray. I've got other pictures, but I didn't post it. It literally was split down the middle.
And you couldn't shut your mouth or anything, could you? And you kept trying to hide from the referee.
Yeah, it was hanging in my cheek. Like, when I was in the hospital, I could line it back up with my hands, and I let go, and it just dropped back down. Like, it was bad, like really bad.
But you won that fight. You
I don't know how.
everything in your power to avoid the referee seeing you looking like that.
You know what? It was like, I can't think what. This is why I want to see the fight back. Yeah, there is footage of it. It's not being released, and it's driving me mad. It's the one fight of mine. It was a crazy fight. Like, who breaks their jaw and carries on and wins? And
yeah,
it's the one fight I'd love to see back. Do you know what I mean? Because I've never seen the footage for it.
Where is the footage?
Harry Showbridge has got it. Like, there is footage for it because they made like a little highlight thing, and there's little clips of the fight in the highlight. So I know there's footage for it, but he won't release it. I know there was a fight in the crowd, but you can edit it out or just show it, whatever. Like, so hey, it's MMA. What do you expect? They're gonna have like a rowdy crowd. But no, yeah. So I don't even remember what shot it was, but I remember I double legged him, and when we landed, it didn't feel right. I was like, "That's not right." And then while I was on top, blood was coming out my mouth rather than like from like facial, and I was like, "Well, that's not normal." So I postured up. I went to hit him, and he hit me with a shot from the bottom, and the pain on a scale of 1 to 10 was like 20. And I just thought, I can't be taking any more shots like that, and that probably broke it even more. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely.
I just like buried my head in his chest, held his arms, and I just was thinking, what am I going to do? Like, I cannot take another punch off of him. If the fight goes back to the feet and he cracks me with another shot, you know, it could be even worse. And then I was like, look, should I look to the ref and just say, look, I'm done, mate. And then I was like, no, you can't. Like, I was arguing with myself in the fight. I was like, no, like, you're winning this fight. It's the last round. The belt's on the line. You're on a 5-fight win streak at the time. Do you know what I mean? And then I was like, yeah, but your jaw's smashed. Like, you should really look. And then I was just literally like in a battle with myself in my head while fighting. But I kept telling myself, just get to the end of the round, get to the end of the round. And I just thought, you got to look busy or you're going to get stood up. So it's like trying to just look active just to not get stood up. And I managed to get to the end of the round because my corner kept shouting posture and punch, posture and punch. And in my head I was like, if you knew what was going on, you'd understand why I'm not posturing. And then obviously when I went back to my corner, that's when people see it. But I found I've done a good job of hiding it during the fight. So
yeah, there are a few photos from during the fight where you can see like you're you're trying to shut your mouth and it's just not closing.
I remember when they come to post-fight interview me, and like they didn't even realise till then. I tried to speak, and it was just like, oh, blah, blah, because it was just the lesson, and I think it was like, oh, his jaw's broke.
So how long did it take to recover from that?
So from that one, I literally went straight into hospital and surgery that night, and they said 6 weeks. They always say 6 weeks for bones, but where it was like a big break, and I got 4 plates.
There's some screws in there as well, weren't
Yeah,
there?
and my teeth wired to make sure that it's set properly. Like my teeth were like top and bottom, so that it's set. Because if they didn't have it like that, it might have just gone bonky. But do you know what I mean? And yes, but I just thought that was August, 6 years ago. So I just thought I was just gonna not spar until the new year. So I took the rest of the year off. I trained and stuff, but no sparring, no contact to the face. Like I just thought, just give it a good proper time to let the bones fuse around the plates and let it heal properly.
And
but
mentally,
during
what's
that
it
time,
like? Oh, go on, sorry.
but during that time, because I wasn't training like sparring and fighting and rolling regularly, I got really heavy, and that was the last fight I made 155.
Yeah.
But you go on,
No,
sorry.
I was going to say, mentally, what's it like to take a punch after that, like to the face, the first time you're sparring again, and particularly in a fight when people are going full throttle? Is there a bit of doubt in your mind as to whether it will hold up?
Do you know what? And when I first sparred, they told me that it will be stronger at the hospital, like because the plates are titanium, and when bones come back, they come back stronger. So actually, it'll be better than it was before. So initially, like when I first took a couple of shots, I was a bit like hoping, has it healed properly? I hope it doesn't re-break, doesn't it? And after a few sessions, it didn't, and I was like, oh sweet. So so then I'm going back into like my next fight. I just wasn't bothered. But then I did a massive weight cut, and I took a big shot at the end of the round, and I don't go down, and I went down. And then that was my last fight. Well, I missed the weight. It was like I made like 156 at 150. Like I was like 3 pounds off, I think.
Yeah. The one
And
after the Jefferson Joy
yeah,
fight, yeah.
and then after that fight, because I got put down, and I've never been put down like that in a fight. Well, I might have years ago when I was younger, but not of recent. Then I was worried about my chin. I was like, shit, maybe I can't take shots anymore. Like,
Even though it's titanium.
yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and, I was just, but then after that fight, I was worried, probably in training and stuff, like before going back to like even like probably my first session, a few sessions sparring, I was a bit worried about taking shots on the chin and that, or like I take a shot, and sometimes when you hit a ring, you're like, oh, am I gonna go? Like, is it just a good shot? Like, and
I guess
then
that could have been the weight cut as well, though, if it was a really tough weight cut.
Yeah, I feel like I was in a really bad way. My kidneys were killing me. I slept with an ice pack on my kidneys. And then the last 2 baths I'd done to try and make the weight, I just didn't even sweat. Both times I got out of the bath, checked my weight, nothing had come off. And so I just rang them up and I said, look, I'm not going to make weight. And then they rang Scott Clist. I thought, a really nice guy actually. Like, we're good friends now. And he agreed to do the catch weight. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not taking nothing away from him. He beat me fair and square, but I do feel like the cut ruined my performance. and I took my punch durability away. You know, like, and like on fight day, I just wasn't normal. Like my coaches, like at the time, like it's like Paul Hines, Mike Russell, and my friend John Kelly as well. Like on the way up to the venue and everything, like we was having conversations, and I just kept going blank. And I was like, "What are we talking about?" Like just. And a few times I've done it. Like I've been looking at someone talking to them, but I wasn't acknowledging anything, and then I just talk about something different, or like, and I think I was thinking he don't seem right, like, and
That's scary, isn't it?
yeah, and then obviously after the way the first round ended, I think because they was thinking and I didn't seem right. Obviously, I went back to the corner. I was unresponsive, and so they called the fight, which was probably the best move. Really.
Was it your corner or was it the doctor?
No, my corner stopped the fight. I think like because of how I'd been during the day, like prior to the fight, and then obviously getting dropped hard. And when I went back to the corner, they're talking to me, and I'm not even responding to them. I was in like la la land. I remember I was holding the cage. I was looking around, and everything was spinning. I was like, "What is going on?" Like, so
I'd say you're lucky to come out of that okay.
Well, do you know, like the fight I reminded me of is when Masvidal fought Cowboy, and he rocked him, put him down hard at the end of the first round. Now, after having gone through it myself, I watched the fight and I think his corner should stop that. Yeah. Goes back out for round 2, gets knocked out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know obviously you want to win and your corner want you to win, but you got to think of your health.
100%.
You know, I could have gone back out, got hit with a shot that could have changed my life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I don't think corners stop fights enough.
No.
And you
no,
know, they're normally worried that the fighter will go nuts, but again, going back to your point, health is way more important.
No, exactly. You know, we always got in lose. That's my win streak snapped and everything, but you know, safety first.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. And that was an epic win streak, like you said. That was 6 in a row. Prior to that one, was the fight against Jamie Rogers, and one of my colleagues at MMA UK wanted me to bring that up. She said that was her coach that you fought, and she said that was one of the best fights she's ever watched, and the way that it was just back and forth the whole fight. I mean, you said you've been in some wars, and that was definitely one of them.
Yeah, we got fight of the night for that. Yeah, it was.
You must have loads of fight of the nights, don't you?
Probably. It's like I either win like some crazy submission or a knockout, or I'll just be in a war.
You nearly subbed him a few times in that fight.
I don't know why. Right, I come out and I just thought I'm going to knock him out in front of his crowd, and I ran across the cage here to hit him, and he dropped me like in the first 10 seconds, and then I just see the red after that. I was like, he just put me on my ass. So I'm gonna kill him. And then it just turned into a war. Technique went out the window, and we just scrapped for 3 rounds.
It was an amazing fight. That was another one that I watched again prior to this, and it's one, even when you know the result, you're still like really on the edge of your seat the whole way through, and it really was. I think
it was a split as well.
It was a split decision, and I feel like had you kept him down, I was going to ask actually as well on decisions. Are there any that you feel went the wrong way in your career?
Yeah, that fight.
Yeah, because watching it back,
no, you know what?
I actually think that you definitely could have got the nod for that one. You know, for sure.
Yeah, when I think I got dropped at the start of the first. But I think I've done enough in the rest of the first round to win it. I think I won the second. And I think I was winning the third until the end. He took me down and got on top and he stayed on top. And I think he probably won the third. But where he dropped me at the start of the first, it's like, do you give him that round? I think I definitely won 2. He definitely won 3. But I think maybe it's how he looked at the first. Like, did I do enough from being dropped in the first 10 seconds to win the round, or are you looking at it like boxing, like, oh no, he wins that round because he got dropped? Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I won.
I thought that might be one out of looking down your Tapology page. Like that one does stand out as like super close, and it obviously the judges thought so as well. The fact
because had I won that, it would have been an 8 fight win streak.
Yeah. So, what's your favourite fight out of all of them?
My favourite fight out of all my fights, it's probably the Jefferson George fight.
Yeah, I
Like,
think that's my
well,
favourite one of yours.
in the sense that I have never seen it, but it was just so crazy. I mean, there was a fight in the crowd mid second round, you know, the jaw breaking and everything, and then winning the title, and it was just so much madness. I just want to see it. Like, but
Yeah,
then if you want to talk my best performance, I would have to say it's probably against John, my last fight, because I really wanted that fight. We were supposed to fight a few years back, 2014 at the Copper
yeah,
Box, and it didn't happen. And obviously, then I think John went up to welterweight. I stayed at 55. Should have gone up to welterweight probably then. But yeah, I just feel like because where he was supposed to fight before, he was UFC veteran. Like, I got a lot of respect for John, and I trained my bollocks off for that fight. I made sure I done everything I could to be 100% prepared, because that's what I've done wrong in the past. I've been complacent, not trained like I should have done, and then I'll still go the distance, but my cardio might not be there. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
or I come out of a fight and I think, oh, like, I didn't take the camp seriously, and it showed on the night. So that one I thought, you know what, just do this one, 100% everything, you know, and then win or lose, I'll walk away from the fight and I give it everything I could, and I did, and it showed on the night. And so after that fight, it made me know, you know what, if you actually just knuckle down and do what you're supposed to do in the gym, it
yeah,
shows on the night.
yeah.
So that's obviously, like, there's reasons for the crazy kid. I don't do everything by the book, like, but I still
Well,
turn up
there
and
is
fight.
a big world out there outside of MMA, and it's hard. Like, there's so much sacrifice as a fighter, and something you said right at the beginning about, like, there's other things that you want to do with your life, and it's saying, if you want to take it seriously, it's saying no to all the things that other people can
Yeah,
say yes to all the time.
I wanted my cake and eat it, didn't I?
Yeah, and like, you can get away with it a little bit sometimes, and then sometimes it's a really dangerous place to be if you're
Yeah,
underprepared. It's
no,
not like
of course.
football where you're going to lose by a few goals if you turn up not
Oh,
ready.
you're gonna get punched in the face. So, it's like,
Well, we've got some comments come through. Aaron said he doesn't think it's going to be the last we see of you in the MMA world. I think he means when one door closes, another one opens. It says when one door opens, another one opens. And Stoonboy says, Brad, come do some jits comps. You
oh,
up for you've done them in the past, haven't you?
yeah,
But that was how
I
you
would
did your
like,
thing.
but my knees mess. Like, I'm sitting on the mats watching from the side. It's frustrating. All I want to do is roll and spar. And even though I was hitting pads the other week, my knee went really bad. Knee swelled up for 3 days. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't go to work. Like, and this is what I mean. Like, whereas, like, with the knee and everything, I was just thinking this is stopping me doing what I want to do. Like, and then when I was hitting pads and it swelled up, couldn't go to work, couldn't train, couldn't do. And then obviously, if you're not working, you're not earning money, and I just thought, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I was
Yeah,
thinking, right, even when I have the surgery, do the rehabilitation, there's nothing to say I won't get injured again.
yeah,
You know, because I was like, I've done my left knee, and then within 2 years, I've done my right knee.
yeah,
I know it's a hard one, but I will train for fun probably, because I'm still teaching, still doing one-to-ones and everything, and I still just, like, I've done it, like I said, I've been involved in combat sports since I was 13.
mm,
Started MMA and jiu-jitsu when I was 16. You know, I'm 30 now. That's a lot of knowledge, and a lot of, like, stuff to pass on. You know, I've been around the world, trained over at TriStar loads of times, trained with, like, I've got a lot of knowledge, and I can, even if I'm not out there performing myself, if I can pass it on, and someone else, just give myself a pat on the back for, passing it on and seeing someone
yeah.
else use it.
Is it hard to think of your life without competing?
Yeah, but I haven't for the last 3 years. I know, like, because of everything that's been going on with the world and injuries and everything. But I think at first, I think when was the last time I had a long break from fighting was I fought Jason Coolidge, and then I was supposed to fight John, and then that fight didn't happen, and then something happened with Cage Warriors where they
Oh
disappeared for a
yeah,
while.
yeah,
So from when I had that fight, I didn't fight again till like I think it was near like June to June, and that was like a year. And I was just itching to fight like crazy. I think I went out to do tough tryouts in Vegas, and I come back, and I just started messaging anyone, just like, look, I need a fight. Like, I'm going stir crazy here, like, because that's
yeah.
like my outlet. Do you know what I mean, fighting, and like without it, I was just like, you can't beat up your sparring partners that much.
Stone Voices, you've got a Ray Winston look about you. So if they do a film about his life, then he can see you playing him.
Oh, thank you.
How do you think of what do you think about acting in the future?
I'll be up for it. I bet I was on Terry a couple of times, wasn't
You were, yeah.
I?
I was messaging my mates going, that's someone from my world. What tell me about the tough trials. What was that like? What was that experience like out in
um,
Vegas?
Yeah, I've been to a few of the UK. I went to the first UK one, UK versus USA. I think it
Yeah,
like 2009. I was like 18, but because of like American laws and everything, and at the time I was only like 2 and 0 amateur. They was like, "Are you too young?" Because I think whereas in the States, their age thing is 21, isn't it? But
yeah,
so I've done that one. I went for UK versus Australia as well. I went for one where I just sent a form off, and then like with the Vegas one, I actually flew out to it. Um, and it was like it was welterweights and lightweights, and so many lightweights turned up. But because of the whole weight cutting so regularly, and obviously like I was making such a big cut to make 155, I entered as a welterweight because I thought I'm not
yeah,
going to make the weight cut 3-4 times in a short space of time. Like
yeah,
it's not possible really. Because that's what you'd see a lot of fighters would do. They'd go on the Ultimate Fighter a weight class above their own,
yeah,
and then when they come off the show, they go back to their weight class.
yeah.
So
We've
that's
seen that
that's what
loads of
I
times.
plan to do. And then in the end, what happened? Oh, they dropped the welterweights because so many lightweights turned up. They just made it a full lightweight cast, and that was
Oh,
Faber versus McGregor, the Europe one they done.
no.
So like,
How annoying is it to be that close?
I don't know, but yeah, it's like I met a lot of people over there. Do you know what I mean? Like American like friends and stuff, and then people that I've trained with since. And yes, I was with Artem Lobov. Like we spent like the week together. We was going out in Vegas and going out for food and stuff, and yeah, we had a good time. I wonder Damien Brown was with us as well. Australian.
Yeah.
Like an Englishman, a Russian Irishman, and an Australian man just bowling through Vegas.
Nobody can understand them.
You like 3 different accents.
Oh, that's
But no,
amazing though. Like,
it was a good experience, and it was good to go out to Vegas as well. So
yeah, like you said, you've trained at TriStar, you've done tough trials in Vegas, like you've really been around the world and picked up skills everywhere. It is amazing. So what's your favourite submission and favourite KO victories before we go?
what of mine?
Yeah,
My favourite submission has obviously got to be the reverse triangle in Ian
yeah.
Embreson. And then, you know what, like, it was
Was
the
that
way,
sweeter because of how the first fight ended?
yeah, and all at the time, do you remember the Cage Warriors forums?
Yeah.
Me and him were back and forth, just bad mouthing each other, got in his face at the weigh-ins. He kept calling me Wheelie Bin, and I kept calling him Bent Whistle, and we just and then so there was a lot of hype going into the first fight, and I feel like he played on it. Like, all right, I did hit him in the back of the head a couple of times, but prior to that, I dropped him with a knee. That's what done the damage, and then
Yeah.
I feel like he played on the back of the head shots to win by DQ. So going into that fight, I just was like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, and I did. I just properly destroyed him. But I think I was in his head from the first fight. I think, and I think he was worried about getting hit, and I just ran through him. And I've never pulled off a reverse triangle in the gym or anything, and I just see it in the fight. I've done it. But then after I done it in the fight, I kept catching it in the gym. So
It's supposed to be the other way around.
yeah, so it's made it up on the spot. And then yeah, I would probably say the body shot finish of Warren Key.
Warren Key.
Because in
Yeah.
the gym, that is what I catch everyone with: body shot, right? And I've just never landed it in a fight. And I just think like the way I set up as well was like just like hands. A light 1-2 to the head that brought his hands up and then bosh under the ribs.
Yeah.
That's probably.
I thought you had him in the first round as well with all those
Yeah,
knees.
at the start.
Yeah.
I think if I just carried on near, I might have got the stoppage. But I was like, I got bored.
You must have thought if he's not going to drop though, then
yeah.
what have I got to do?
I was kneeing, and then I just thought I'll just throw some punches and elbows, just mix it up a bit. But I think if I just carried on kneeing where he was in that position and just kept taking unanswered shots, probably would have got stopped. But you know, I'm actually more happier with the finish I got. So
yeah, I was going to say I'm glad you didn't catch him there because I just think it's so quality the way a body shot, like a good body shot, the kind of time delay before someone notices that their body's shut down.
Like you get caught, and it's when you go to breathe and you can't. It's just you get hit with a shot. Oh, that's a good shot, you know. And it's like you can't catch your breath, and you're like, oh, I better go down.
Yeah, I did feel for him. It's very, very unpleasant. Peter Knox wants to know if you could change one rule in MMA, what would you change?
One rule in MMA, what would I change? It's a good question. You know what? I don't know. What would I change? Oh, you know what? The downward elbow strike. I think it's the stupidest rule.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't mind the whole soccer kicks and knees to head on the ground, but then I do think it's very brutal, like when it's like that. So yeah, probably the downward elbow. No, I wouldn't want headbutts. It's like we're not like UFC 1 anymore. You know, we're a bit more
refined.
21st century. Yeah, we're not so caveman.
I agree with you about the 12 to 6 elbows. One more thing before I let you give any shout outs or anything. I wanted to ask you about one of the things I think you're most famous for is the rumour that you were the one that knocked out Conor in his training camp before his Mayweather fight.
I've been paid not to talk.
Weren't you in plaster at the time, or you had
yeah,
it?
So I went into the Inman fight with a fractured leg that I didn't know about until I had the X-ray after the fight, and so I was kind of actually because that's what they said Conor had, like obviously with the Poirier fight.
Yeah.
And I was so worried about something happening, I didn't throw one kick. But then I think if I did, would my leg done the same thing? Do you know what I mean? It's what Conor's done. So that's obviously why I didn't do a lot in that fight. It was just a punch bag. But yeah, anyway. So after that fight, I went and got an X-ray. Turns out it was all. I think I had 3 fractures in my fibula. So I was in cast, like from toe to thigh, and I'm laying in bed one day. And my phone just starts pinging, ping, and I'm like, "What is going on?" But like people are like, "Listen, did you knock out McGregor? Did you knock out McGregor?" And I'm thinking, "Yeah, like with one leg, yeah, I hopped in with crutches, knocked him out, and hopped back out." Like, and people that know me and know I've got a broken leg and everything are like, "Did you knock out Conor McGregor?" And I was just like, "When? Like, well, didn't he train with you at TriStar? Like, when did he train with you at TriStar?" And it's like people just. Like they believe everything they read. So at first, I thought it was quite funny. I thought, you know what, I'm not even going to say anything. Just let people think what they want. And I just thought like I won't say yeah, I won't say no. I'll just leave it. But my phone literally was going off non-stop every minute for like a week. It was just doing my head in with the same question over and over again. I had people from like when I was at TriStar, like the Canadians, like they're messaging me like, "Did you knock him out?" Like, and I was thinking, when would this have happened? But like, if I was over there training with views, like, and then I come back and done a fight, and I'm now in cast, when did I knock him out? Like, but
who do you think came up with the rumor?
Do you know what it was? There was an interview. Someone was being interviewed, talking about the McGregor Mayweather fight, and he said Brandon Rios, right? But in the interview, if you watch it, the way he says it kind of sounds like Bradley Wheeler, all right? So then someone's obviously heard it and thought, oh, he said Bradley Wheeler. Must have Googled me. Oh, he's an MMA fighter. Oh, this guy must have knocked him out. Made an article, took pictures off my Instagram, like, and put them on the article, so it looks proper legit. Like, and yeah, obviously people believed it. Like, and then so I left it for like a week. I just thought it was funny at first, and then it was getting annoying. So then I like one of the I think it was the Mirror or something contacted me and said, "Oh, can we talk to you about the thing?" Should have played on it a bit more. I said, "Like, pay me this much, and I'll tell you what happens." But didn't really think at the time. I was just getting fed up with it. But it's basically I told them the whole thing that I had a fight. I've got a fractured leg. I'm in cast, so any sparring session or knockout is just a rumor. And then after they posted that out to say like, look, we spoke to Wheeler, the rumors ain't true. I was then getting people inbox me saying, "You've been paid not to talk, haven't you?" I was just like, I can't win. I was like, oh yeah, I knocked him out. Is that what you want to hear? Like,
I think it's amazing. Out of all the real fights that you've actually had, that was the one doing the rounds with like people in like outside of MMA that like we're talking about you. And
yeah,
that's I remember saying to someone that no, it can't be. He's in a cast at the moment.
yeah.
Like, no, it's not possible.
That's the thing that was winding me up. Like, not even winding me up. It's like people that knew I was in a cast would message me or ringing me. Did you knock out McGregor? And I was like, when? Like, think about it. Just because there's an article that says it, like, doesn't mean it's true. Like, sometimes I did play on it. Like, I go, yeah, I knocked out McGregor, Like, I showed me the article. Isn't it? Like, oh, what, you really did? And I was like, yeah, I did. So we were sparring and knocked out with an uppercut. This, that, blah, blah. I'm like, no, it's not true. I was like, but you just said you did. I was like, no, I'm joking. It's an article that got posted. But then they're like, are you lying? And I'm like, I just don't bother talking about it anymore. Like, people believe what they want to believe. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you I didn't do it. People still believe I've done it. So I was like, oh.
Well, did he or didn't he, viewers? We'll let you decide.
Yeah.
I think I saw you at Cage Warriors though, like soon after that, and I heard somebody there asking you about it, even as you were just walking through the crowd at Cage Warriors.
Oh yeah. That was. I think was my leg still bad. I can't think what. It was one of the London ones, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, give me
It must have been the card after the Inman fight.
Which would that have been? So what was that? Cage was 95, was it? No, it would have been 90.
Maybe 90. I can't remember.
Oh, actually, yeah, it might have been. I thought Key at 84, and then I thought Inman at 86. So it would have been one after that. It might have been like 88 or something.
Yeah. Oh.
But, I mean, like to a degree, it's kind of funny. Like like on the internet, it got me a lot of exposure and stuff. So like good or bad, there's like exposure's always good. You know what I mean? So, but
you're lucky you didn't have any Conor McGregor fanboys like torching your house or anything.
But then I'd be out with my friends, right? Go out and bar and that, and they'd use it to start open conversation starters. Like, you knocked out Conor McGregor. Oh wow, here we go. They'd be like, look, here's the article. And they're like, oh, what did you knock him out? And it's like icebreakers. You know what I mean? But I think we was out one time and they done it to this Irish lot, and they were like, yeah, I'm friends with John Kavanagh's blah blah blah. This blah blah. I'm like, yeah, of course they're gonna know it's not true. And I had to tell my friends like, please stop doing this. I don't want to keep talking about it.
I don't think you're ever going to live that one down. People will be asking you about that forever. But
well, if he wants to, if he wants to do it, like there seems to be all these like mad YouTubers, boxers. We could do the rumor versus. We could make the rumor a reality. If he wants to go down, then I'll come out of retirement. You know what I mean?
I think that would be a fight worth coming out of retirement for. Not that any other fight wouldn't be, but like that.
I would have loved to have had it when he was at Cage Warriors, but then after he went UFC, then rest is history now. But it was a fight I wanted when he was on the Cage Warriors roster. But
Well, you never know. You never know. But like we've just talked about some of your highlights there, and also some of the things that you've put your body through for our viewing pleasure. So I just want to say a massive, massive thank you for all of the
Yeah.
memories, all the fights, like all the times that I've woken up with no voice the next day after screaming for you at Cage Warriors. It's been such a pleasure to follow your career, and I'm so glad that I've got to chat with you, and who knows what will happen in the future. But I wish you all the best with your knee and a super speedy recovery. Is
Oh,
there
thank you.
anyone that you wanted to thank or anything?
Do you know what? I just want to thank just everyone. You know, everyone that's supported me over all the years. You know, I've been doing it for years, and I've had ups and downs. And people have always supported me, even when I'm coming off losses. You know, there's a few people who know who they are, and they looked after me. Like especially when I done my leg, and I couldn't go to work. I couldn't do nothing, and you know they would come round and take me out for dinner and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know who's like there for you, because when you're winning, everyone loves you.
Yes.
And you know, when you lose, you know, that's where you see who your true friends are. And so just the people that have supported me all the way through, you know, everyone I've ever trained with, you know, everyone that's ever influenced me, you know, like had an impact on my training. You know, like from when I started with Eddie Cohn to then went to then making it like Michael Russell, Paul Hines. Obviously, I'm not there anymore, but you know, just anyone that's had an impact or helped me, you know, I just want to thank everyone, all the fans, you know, friends, family, supporters that I don't even know that was inboxing me last week. You know, I mean, just everyone, you know, thank you for your support. And it was like, you know, it's something I'm passionate about, and I love performing for the crowd. There was nothing better than that crowd roaring when you win. You know, that's the best buzz in the world. You know, and you know, I just yeah, you know, cool. It's time to call it a day. But thank you to everyone. I hope you enjoyed the show.
We all enjoyed the show. Thank you so much. Thank you. Is there any advice you'd give to anyone who's setting out on this journey now?
Yeah, don't do it. But if you're gonna get into it, don't have your cake and eat it. Do it properly, and you know, yeah, just do it properly. It's a dangerous sport. You know, you're gonna have to put your all into it. You know, and you just be managed well, have the right fights at the right time, and yeah, just you know, get as much training as you can. Go around the world. It's like the sport's evolving all the time nowadays. Like, just go learn everything, take what works for you, and put it to your arsenal, and then you know go out and perform and do your best. But if you don't like getting hit, it's probably not sport for you. I mean,
Probably
can't teach
not.
heart.
Well, thank you so much, Brad. Honestly, like it's been such a pleasure being a fan for a long, long time, and I'm glad that you got to feel the love last week and know how many people are
It
thinking
was
that.
touching.
And
It was touching. You know, I'm quite an emotional person, so yeah, it was nice as well. You know, it was a bit, yeah.
oh, well, thank you so much for your time, and
That's
I'd
okay.
love to have you on in the future as well. You know, you said you're
Anytime.
coaching people now, so I'd love to hear about them and how they're doing, and just to catch up with you and find out how you're getting on.
Yeah, anytime, just drop me a message. I'll be more than happy to do it. Thanks for having me on today as well. You know, I appreciate that.
No, everyone wanted to hear a bit more about your retirement and just look back on some of them amazing memories and celebrate with you.
Especially falling out of the cage.
Yeah, that one as well. How did I forget that? That's got to be up there with your most memorable moments.
I was so excited. I just ran for the cage. Didn't think about the landing. As I flew over, I was like, "Oh shit!" and just landed. Like, do you know what I mean? But
Did you hurt yourself that time?
I think my adrenaline was rushing so much, I didn't really notice.
Oh, well, take care of yourself,
Yeah,
Brad. Try and no more injuries,
hopefully
please,
not. Yeah.
and get this one fixed. And I wish you a speedy recovery. Take care of
Thank you.
yourself.
Cheers. And you.
Thank you.
Take care.